Happy Tuesday. It is July 9th. I'm not sure how it got to be July 9th, but it is. I am Leanne Furness. I'm an independent demonstrator here for Stampin' Up! In Rochester, Minnesota. I have been doing this for 20 some years. I love what I do. And I am excited today to showcase one stamp set out of our many stamp sets that we have in our annual catalog. Um, I'm going to just kind of get to the project. So let's just do that. And then I'm upside down. Woo. Okay. So that was a little bit of touch and go. And I think what I wanted, I think I got a plan for next time, which doesn't seem like a really big idea, but it's going to be great. Okay, I can't quite tell. I think that's fine. All right, well, no one's on, and that's okay because it's 6:30 on a beautiful summer evening, and I hope you're outside, and I hope you're going to watch this later and just love the stamp set. Okay, so this is Under the Moon, and it is in our annual 24-25 catalog. It's on page 88. It is a watercolor photopolymer stamp, meaning if I pull this up, it is, you can see through it kind of until you've used it a lot. And whoops, and it is more of a watercolor. So it gives you a soft image that you don't have to really work hard to get a good image, right? So this is what I wanted to show you. So I'm going to go ahead. I have this card from Michelle Zindorf, and I found it probably online. I don't know. And I kind of tweaked it a little bit. It was inspired by her, but I tweaked it to be a little bit more of mine. I can't remember. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to use Pool Party, Crushed Curry, and Summer Splash. All right, so Pool Party is going to be the moon, or the moon sun thing with clouds, and then Summer Splash is going to be in the water, and then Crushed Curry in the middle. So let me show you how this works. I'm going to do, first of all, the Pool Party. So I'm going to open that up. Oh gosh, someone did join me. Why are you not outside? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get, well, there's two. Woohoo! I'm going to go ahead and get the Pool Party and the, nope, that's the moon. That's what we're using later. Oh my goodness. I'm going to show you a daytime and a nighttime one. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this up on Pool Party. And remember how I said it just does all the work for you? Look at that. I didn't even do anything. And it's like, it's got different depths of color, and it shows you all the little wonderful little details. Love it. And so that's all I'm doing with Pool Party. Then for my sun, because I wanted it to be a little bit more sun-like, I'm going to go ahead and use Crushed Curry in a little dauber. And I'm going to stick this in here just to give it a little something, something bright. Because I don't know I don't know. There's just so many things that you can do. Okay. Wow, that was messy. Can't close it on your body. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab, Stampin' Splash, which is one of our new ink colors. For some reason, it doesn't want to open for 24-26. Oh my gosh. Time is just doesn't stop, does it? Okay, so this is going to be the water, and I'm going to grab block E and make sure I have it on the right way. And watch this. You kind of probably are thinking I stamped a couple times and did some fun things. Nope, I just made sure my water met where my moon was, or whatever that is, my sun. And it does all the work for you. I mean, isn't that wonderful? Okay, I'm going to show you a couple more things on this card. The only other thing I want to do is, like, we have the sailboat, but I'm going to do some dolphins this time. And I'm going to go ahead. This is actually on my buffet this month in June and July. So I'm going to get that schedule out shortly. I was gone last week, so I wanted to enjoy my time off. Right? Cute. And then we're going to go ahead, and there's another dolphin. I wanted to showcase all of these stamps. There's another dolphin. I was trying to figure out a different way to use the dolphin, but that just seems silly. So I'm going to go ahead and just do him. He's like a loner by himself. He's just swimming and they're so happy. Woohoo! And that's basically the stamp set. Well, let me show you what I came up with for a nighttime look. Totally different than this bright, sunny, happy type of card that Michelle highlighted on her website. Okay, let me show you one other thing quick. Here is another card that I've seen all over the internet. I don't know if Lynn Starles was the first person, but this is the designer series paper is from the Country Woods, and it kind of looks like water. I don't know. She did a much better job. This is the moon punched out and basic black sailboat. It's okay. It's not like, ooh, I like it. And this was a swap I did. And you'll see the deckled edges. I kind of did the reverse of the, what is that? The reverse of the, you know, usually we layer up, which is what we're going to do today, but this is layering down. So what I did is, and you'll see that this ink is over here. So I stamped it first and then I cut it out and I used 2 different sizes. That's a whole nother process. Today, I'm going to use, and let me just show you the deckled edge dies. Oh my gosh, of course they fall all over the place. Deckled edge dies you're not going to find in the catalog. You're going to find this stamp set on page 88, but the deckled edge dies are only available through the online. You can only see them online, but you can order them through me or whoever you want, but hopefully me. Just a reminder, this weekend, July 11th or 12th and 13th, I'm going to be doing lives with some global demonstrators, and we have some Christmas in July for you. Okay, so that's the beautiful online exclusive called Deckled Edge Dies. They were in our last catalog. You get 8 of them, as it says. The number is 159173. And what I'm going to use is these. Let me just take the cell out. These. Now, I usually just leave these on my wall of fun, and it's got a magnetic, and it kind of sticks up there, which is really cool. But if you can tell, this is kind of warped, just a tish. And a trick for that is when you're putting it in your machine. So let's just say, for example, this is the plate. If you go straight in like this, it's going to warp this die because all the pressure comes right across this at the beginning. And so it's going to push that down and it's going to start warping this because it's really warped like this, right? So it's going to push all its pressure there, and then it's going to push all the pressure here when it leaves. Instead of doing it that way, kittywampus it, if you can, to get the pressure coming across evenly the top and the bottom. And then that will help. These can kind of bend back into shape, but I wouldn't recommend doing it too often. Okay, this is going to be Smoky Slate card base. The other thing I did is I already pre-cut. Well, this is Pebble Path. This is going to be basic black. And what I wanted to show you was when you layer things on top, cut something out from that layer. Don't waste. I mean, you could waste it, I suppose, and then you have to get to buy more cardstock. But I cut that out. It's the same size. It's one size smaller than what we've got for the basic black. And so it doesn't matter that I cut out something in the middle, right? So that's a great little tip to make your supplies go farther. And then, okay, that's that. That's that. Here's the card we're going to do. It is, I'm going to see if I can get this up higher. It is a nighttime silhouette-y kind of look, and it's going to include some fun ink that we haven't used for a while. So I'm just going to go, whoop, I'm going to need this stamp set, silly me. I'm going to get rid of this, note that. So the inks we're going to use for this card, and let me put that back up here so you can see what I'm doing. There's this glare and I just can't tell. Yes, it's okay. All right, so I'm going to use the regular ink of Basic Gray and Smoky Slate. And then I'm going to use what we have. This is super old, and I've had it for a long time, but you can still get it. It's Craft stamping pads. So these are found with the colors, the normal colors. This is on page 126 because it's a craft ink. And what that means is it dries way slower than our regular ink. This dries pretty quickly. Memento ink, maybe just a tish longer. And this, you're going to want to give it a few minutes. Great for white embossing if you're going to do like letters or words. But the other thing about it is you need to get the refill, because the refill will help you get the most out of your. It is it's old style. It is, I don't have the new one. I have the old Craft stamping. They used to have Craft ink pads in all different colors. And then they did away with that, but they kept this white, and I can do like a 40, well, not 40. I could do probably a month's worth of white. Why you want this white Craft pad? Maybe that's my next thing. Who knows? Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead, and this is how I re-ink all of my pads. I just kind of smear it on there and then take a spoon. And now this stuff is goopy. You know, like Versamark holds onto your, I'm going to move this out of the way. Versamark holds onto your embossing powder, right? And it's really gooky. This is why we're going to use, this is what that is like too. So I'm going to use my Stampin' Scrub that you can find on page 83. And I'm going to use some Stampin' Mist, just because it's really hard to, on your chamois, to use, and you'll see why in a second, to use the chamois. Let me grab my chamois and wipe off this extra ink. And I'm going to have white, and it's going to smear, and it's going to be icky, and we don't like that. Well, I don't like that. You might like it. Okay, so I've re-inked my white, and we're going to use that in a minute. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to close that because it does dry out rather quick. So what I want to do is I'm going to do the clouds. There's two different clouds. 1, 2, and I'm just going to grab them with my block D, and I'm going to stamp them in Smoky Slate Stamped Off, because I really wanted the clouds to be subtle. And let me show you the difference. I'm going to turn this upside down so you can see Smoky Slate Full Strength, Smoky Slate Stamped Off. I should have just stamped that off. That was silly. Stamped Off. I like this subtle better, but you don't have to. You can just do whatever you want. So I'm going to stamp off. Stamping off sometimes is the hardest thing to remember. And I'm just going to do a few of those and clean it with my chamois. And then I'm going to take the other cloud, do the exact same thing, stamp off, and add a cloud. I think I'm going to do that up there. Stamp off. And there. Okay. Simple, easy peasy, right? So we're going to go ahead then and close our Smoky Slate. And I am going to take my Basic Gray. So this, I think this would be a good like sympathy card, thinking of you card. Great for this set is great for anybody who has a sailboat or loves dolphins. Super cool. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and ink this up with Basic Gray. And you can get kind of a bigger water area if you prefer by stretching it out. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that. And that's a good, that's a good water line. But I just want to stamp off a little bit. And then I'm going to just add a little bit more depth to my water. You can add in little things if you want. Like I played with it this afternoon and I was like, oh, we could just do something like that. But it's not necessary. Again, the stamp does the work for you. All right. So now, through the magic of life, I'm going to grab another block D, put this away, grab my moon. And when I put these on my acrylic, I like to push them down like that. And I'm going to stamp this. Now I'm going to push this down a little bit so you can see how juicy this is, and then how there's ink on it. And you can kind of see that ink, and you can see that it's very poor. It's really, really wanting to just jump off that stamp. So I'm going to put my whatever this is, my moon, over here farther, and we're going to lift that up a little bit more because that's kind of close, but maybe it's not. All right, so there's my moon. I wish my water was behind it. And now remember, this is white. So I'm going to go ahead, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try one more. I happen to have an extra cut before I clean that white. I want to make it a little better. So this is where the perfectionism comes in for me, and it's not a good thing sometimes. I mean, I want the water, right? I want the moon just getting to the water, not under the water. What was I thinking? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, basic gray with my water, hold it for a minute. And look at it, I have ink on my hand, so there's that. And I'm just not going to ink it up again. I'm just going to stamp off because it's already stamped off and kind of go like that. That's what I'm going to do this time. We'll see if we like it better. And then I'm going to go ahead and take Smoky Slate. Now, if you're wondering about the buffet for July, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. I was on vacation, and I just really was kind of just like, ugh. And I don't know what it is, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and use Smoky Slate, stamping off like I said I was before. And I'm just going to add that. Okay. Then I'm going to grab my moon, grab my white ink. Wow, thanks. I wonder who's watching. I can't see that. That's what I don't like. Oh, this was already open. Hello. So don't forget, this weekend, if you're not a member of the Global Inspiration Facebook group, message me before, and I will invite you. Okay, so here's my line, if you can see that. And I'm just going to kind of add this above the line. That's much better. Okay, remember what I said about cleaning it. I'm going to grab my Stampin' Scrub. I don't use this for much, but I use it for StazOn, and I use it for white and for Versamark, just because, oh my gosh, it gets really far in those grooves. I just made my screen on my computer like super big, and I hope that's not how it looks on you guys. Because holy moly, what did I do? All right. And so sometimes you just have to take another cloth. I happen to love okay, what is happening over here? Okay, just let it go. Let it go. Okay, my chamois that came with my glass mat, and wipe off that stuff. All right, so this one we're going to use the sailboat. And we're going to pick up our space here a little bit. I'm going to do this. Now, I'm going to show you something. Look, the white is still wet. And that's why you got to be really careful with this white ink. I'm just going to wipe that off. It's going to get everywhere if you touch it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my sailboat, and I'm going to grab my black tuxedo memento black pad that I put over here because that makes sense. I don't know if I can tell the difference between these two, but for some reason I thought I could. Okay, so I mean, seriously. I'm trying to, okay, whatever. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this. Now, sometimes when you stamp your sailboat, it's a pretty good image. And so it kind of depends where you overlap with that white ink, because it's going to get a little diluted, and there's probably white on here now. What can you do about that? Well, you could line it back up. I would clean this first because you don't want white ink on your Memento pad. That would be a horrible experience. And you can line this up if you're good. Now it's hard for me to say. I'm going to push this down here. Okay, not bad, not bad at all, but I still see a little bit. So I'm going to grab either a basic black dark blend or a Stampin' Write marker. Either way, it's going to work. I'm just going to kind of color over, oh gosh, then I ruined it, over the black. Now this is how you can make a silhouette out of anything if you really want. How's that for a little tip? Okay, so that's our card, basically. What I also did then is I took some twine from our Baker's Twine Essential Pack in our annual catalog. I'm just going to get this out of my way. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wrap this around. And I like to use regular Scotch tape. Or regular tape. I guess it doesn't have to be Scotch. It just has to be regular tape. Again, remember this is probably going to be ink on here. So you can kind of see where I already smeared some of that white. So I would let this dry. Or I would use a heat tool if you're in a hurry. You could always emboss it, but that would be weird. I think it would be kind of interesting to showcase embossing powder. Okay, so I'm just wrapping this around 3 times. And then I'm going to grab another piece of tape and I'm going to turn this over ever so gently and whoops, trim it. Oh, giving myself a little bit more and tape that and lift it up without trying to smear it. And then I'm going to take my rest of my card parts, basic gray, Smoky Slate, basic card size, 8.5 by 11, cut in half, scored in a quarter. And then I cut out this part, the second largest, and then this is the third largest, and then this is the second largest. And then there you have your super fun, interesting, I don't know. I like the color combo. Let me know what you think, either on Facebook or via email or whatever. Don't forget about my garage sale on July 13th here in my craft area in my garage. And some of you have asked about the large demo sale. We usually have, let's flip this around here. We usually have about 20 or so, give or take, demonstrators that bring products to a garage sale, and we have it in a hall, which we're going to have it the same place as we did last year. Information's coming. Someone has to make a graphic, and that might be me. And we're going to do it on September 14th. Is that a Saturday? I don't know. If it's September, it's the second Saturday. So I'm going to 13th or 14th. I don't know. 14th probably. So it says right there, September 14th, 8 a.m. to noon. And then we will have more information about that. So thanks for joining. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful evening. And let me know if you have any questions. Bye.